Ambassador Daeho Kim stood before the massive crystal dome of the Galactic Consortium's High Council chamber. The blue light from the three suns of Nexus Prime filtered through, casting strange shadows across his face. He was a small figure compared to the towering aliens who watched him from their curved platform. "Humans," rumbled Counselor Vrex, his scaled skin reflecting purple and gold. "Your species has achieved faster than light travel just 50 years after your first spaceflight. This is unusual." Daeho smiled politely and bowed. "We are quick learners, honored counselor. Earth seeks only peaceful exchange of knowledge and friendship." The 6 members of the High Council exchanged glances. The Moldavi representative blinked her 4 eyes slowly. "Yet you come in ships with minimal defenses and outdated scanning technology. We focused our resources on transportation rather than military applications," explained Daeho. His small delegation stood quietly behind him. Chief Scientist Jaya, Military Liaison Taiwan, and Cultural Attaché Su-jin. The assessment tests had been thorough over the past 3 days. Humans had demonstrated average strength, unremarkable reflexes, and limited sensory range. Their technology seemed derivative of concepts already known throughout the galaxy. Nothing special. "The consortium welcomes Earth as a Category 3 civilization," announced the chairbeing, a tall creature made of what looked like folded paper. "You may establish embassies and trading posts at designated stations." Daeho bowed again. "We are honored." After the ceremony, the human delegation was approached by Vrex. The Krellzax towered over them, his breath hot and smelling like metal. "I observe your physical trials," he said. "Humans are soft. How did you survive on your world with such limitations?" Taiwan, a compact man with a weathered face, smiled. "We adapted, learned to use tools." "Tools." Vrex made a sound like stones grinding together, a laugh. "Tools will not help when real threats emerge. The galaxy is not safe." "We appreciate your concern," said Daeho smoothly. Later, in their private quarters aboard the Earth ship Gentle Dawn, the delegation's polite masks fell away. "They categorized us exactly as Director Hanbin predicted," said Jaya, tapping data into her pad. "Non-threatening, technologically unremarkable, physically inferior." Taiwan, who had removed his ceremonial attire to reveal a body far more muscular than he had appeared in the loose diplomatic clothes, nodded. "The Krellzax particularly underestimate us." "That could be useful. Or dangerous," Su-jin pointed out. "They control 17 systems and have conquered 3 other species in the past century." Daeho looked out the viewport at the gleaming spires of the consortium hub world. "We maintain the facade. Earth's safety depends on appearing harmless while we learn everything we can." A soft tone sounded, and a holographic display activated. Director Hanbin's face appeared, transmitted from Earth, 15 light-years away. "Report," he said simply. "Success," replied Daeho. "We're classified as Category 3, non-threatening. The consortium sees us as barely worth noting." Hanbin nodded. "Good. And the Krellzax?" Taiwan stepped forward. "They've dismissed us entirely. Their military attaché didn't even bother attending our presentation." "Perfect." A rare smile crossed Hanbin's face. "Continue as planned. Remember, we have one goal: learn everything while revealing nothing." After the transmission ended, the team prepared for the welcome banquet. As they dressed in their deliberately modest attire, a consortium news alert flashed across their screens. A Krellzax battle group had pacified a disputed system near consortium space. The indigenous population was being relocated. "They're expanding again," murmured Su-jin. "And no one stops them," added Jaya. Daeho straightened his simple collar. "The consortium fears them. The other species lack either the will or the means to challenge them." "How long will we keep pretending?" asked Taiwan, sliding a small device up his sleeve. A translator, apparently, though it was much more. "As long as necessary," said Daeho firmly. until we understand the full picture, until we're ready. At the banquet, the humans sat at a minor table, far from the important dignitaries. They accepted the placement with grateful smiles, eating sparingly, speaking softly, and generally confirming everyone's impression that humans were an unremarkable species. Only once did Daho's careful mask slip. When a Krellzak's commander casually mentioned their new mining operation on a recently available world, Daho's eyes flashed with something cold and calculating. The Krellzaks didn't notice. No one did. Later that night, as Nexus Prime's 3 moons rose, Daho sent a coded message back to Earth. Operation Humble beginning successful. The galaxy believes exactly what we want them to believe. The alarm rang at 300 Earth Standard Time. Director Han Bin woke instantly, his sleep forgotten as he saw the urgent message flashing on his screen. He tapped the display and grainy video footage appeared. 3 Krellzak's warships surrounded the small research station orbiting Jupiter's moon Callisto. The station's weak shields flickered and failed under the barrage of energy weapons. Within minutes, the entire facility was reduced to floating debris. Han Bin's face remained calm, but his knuckles turned white as he gripped the edge of his desk. Casualties, he asked the computer. 47 scientists. No survivors detected, replied the AI. Captain Sun Mai entered the office without knocking. Her uniform was hastily put on, hair still messy from sleep. Sir, the consortium is sending a diplomatic team. They're offering reparations for the unfortunate incident. Reparations, Han Bin repeated softly. They expect us to accept credits and apologies for 47 lives. The Krellzaks claim our research station was spying on their scout ship, Sun Mai said. They call it a justified security action. Han Bin was silent for a long moment, looking at the faces of the dead scientists now displayed on his screen. Most had been studying Jupiter's atmospheric patterns. They were civilians, not military. 6 months, he finally said. We've maintained our facade for only 6 months, and already they test us. Sun Ma stepped closer. Sir, the consortium expects us to accept their offer, to maintain our cover. No. Han Bin's voice was quiet but firm. There are lines that cannot be crossed. Deploy the quiet thunder. Sun Ma's eyes widened. The thunder. But that would reveal. Not everything. Just enough. The quiet thunder was disguised as a diplomatic courier, a small, seemingly unarmed vessel. Only 5 people outside its crew knew its true nature. Captain Junho received the authorization codes with a grim expression. Confirm target, he said to his weapons officer. Krellzak's battle group. 3 heavy cruisers, 4 escort vessels, currently in orbit around Europa. Junho nodded. They're waiting to see how we respond to their message. He turned to his crew. Activate stealth systems. Weapons hot but concealed. We approach as diplomats carrying formal protests. The thunder slipped out of Earth's orbit, accelerating toward Jupiter. On all consortium scans, it appeared as nothing more than a light transport with minimal defenses. The Krellzak's commander, Varsk, was eating when the report came. A human vessel approaches, his officer announced. Varsk laughed, showing rows of sharp teeth. Come to beg for mercy, no doubt. Let them approach. I will hear their pleas myself. The thunder drifted closer, transmitting diplomatic codes. It requested permission to dock with the Krellzak's flagship to deliver an official response from Earth. Permission granted, Varsk said, amused. Let's see what pathetic compensation they offer for their spying. The thunder came within 5,000 kilometers. Then, without warning, it changed. Panels along its hull slid open. The innocent-looking communications array reconfigured into something deadly. Before the Krellzak sensors could properly identify the threat, the thunder fired. Not conventional weapons, not the plasma torpedoes or laser cannons the consortium races used. The thunder released thousands of tiny drones, each no bigger than a human fist. They swarmed toward the Krellzak ships, moving too fast for defensive systems to track. The drones attached themselves to the hulls and simply melted through. Within seconds, they were inside the ships, targeting navigation, weapons, and life support systems. "What is happening?" Varsk roared as his flagship's lights flickered and died. "Return fire." But there was nothing to fire at. The thunder remained just where it was, still transmitting diplomatic codes. In less than 5 minutes, all 7 Krelzak ships were dead in space. No atmosphere breaches, no explosions. They were simply disabled, floating silently. Captain Junho opened a channel. "This is Earth Vessel Quiet Thunder to Krelzak's command. You murdered 47 unarmed civilians. We could destroy you entirely, but we choose not to. Consider this mercy and a warning." 3 days later, Ambassador Daho stood before an emergency session of the Consortium Council. The chamber was in uproar. "How did one small ship defeat a Krelzak's battle group?" demanded the chair being. "That information is classified," Daho replied calmly. "You concealed your military capabilities," accused a Krelzak's representative. Daho smiled thinly. "Just as you concealed your intentions toward us. We hoped to join the consortium as peaceful members. We still do. But make no mistake, Earth will defend itself." He played a short video clip showing the thunder neutralizing ships 10 times its size within seconds. The council chamber fell silent. "What you saw," Daho explained, "was merely one prototype. We have others. We were hoping never to need them." The message was clear. Humans had never been as weak as they appeared. The mask had slipped, deliberately, carefully, showing just enough to make the galaxy reconsider. Councillor Vrex slammed his massive fist onto the table. Small cracks spread across its surface. His scales had darkened to a deep red, a sign of intense anger among Krelzaks. "Your species claimed to be peaceful," he roared at Daho. "You presented yourselves as harmless scholars and traders." The emergency session of the Galactic Consortium had been going for 6 hours. Representatives from 17 species demanded explanations for the Quiet Thunder incident. How had humans, supposedly a minor species with unremarkable technology, disabled 7 warships without firing a single conventional weapon? Daho remained calm in the face of Vrex's fury. "We are peaceful. We choose peace. Yet you maintain these weapons." "Because we know what we are capable of," Daho said quietly. "Perhaps it's time you knew as well." Jaya stepped forward, activating a holographic display. "This is Earth, approximately 4,000 years ago." The display showed ancient battle scenes, armies clashing with primitive weapons, cities burning, empires rising and falling. "Humans have been fighting each other since we first formed tribes," Jaya explained. "By the time we reached what we call the 20th century, we had refined warfare to an art." The display shifted to show tanks, planes, warships, nuclear explosions, cities reduced to ash. "Within the span of just 30 years, we fought 2 world wars that killed over 80 million people," Jaya continued. "Our own people." Many council members shifted uncomfortably. Even the Krelzaks, known for their aggression, seemed disturbed. "Then we developed nuclear weapons," said Tadwan, speaking for the first time. "For the next 50 years, we lived knowing we could destroy our entire planet many times over. We called it mutually assured destruction." "Yet you survived," observed the Moldovi representative. "We did more than survive," Daho replied. "We learned. We grew. We understood that our capacity for violence was matched only by our capacity for cooperation." Jaya changed the display again, showing the unified Earth government forming, the first lunar colonies, the peaceful exploration of their solar system. "When we achieved unity, we did not destroy our weapons or forget how to fight," said Taiwan. "We simply chose a different path. But the knowledge, the instinct, remains." Archaeologist Min Soo Choi stepped forward next. He was new to the delegation, brought specifically for this session. "The council should know something else," he said, activating his own display. Earth has been visited before. The hologram showed excavated spacecraft parts, clearly not of human design. 3 previous expeditions attempted contact with pre-FTL Earth, Min-Su explained. The first, approximately 3,000 years ago during what we call the Bronze Age. The second, during the height of the Roman Empire. The third, in the mid-20th century. What happened to these expeditions? Asked the chairbeing. They disappeared, Min-Su said simply. At those points in our history, humans would have viewed any alien arrival as either gods to be worshipped or invaders to be destroyed. Either way, we weren't ready for peaceful contact. His word tongue in the air. The implication was clear. Even primitive humans had somehow defeated advanced alien visitors. We hope to spare you this knowledge, Jaya said into the silence. Our capacity for violence troubled us. We wanted to be better when we joined you. Vrex had been listening intently. His scales had gradually shifted back to their normal color. You concealed your true nature to protect us. Partly, admitted Daho, and partly to protect ourselves while we assessed whether the consortium was truly peaceful. We've seen what fear can drive people to do. We didn't want to be feared. Yet now we have reason to fear you, said a small, insect-like representative. No, Daho said firmly. You have reason to respect us. There's a difference. We did not attack the Krulzax battle group. We defended ourselves after they destroyed our research station. We disabled their ships but killed no one. He looked directly at Vrex. Had we wanted war, those ships would have been destroyed, not disabled. Had we wanted conquest, we would not have revealed just one of our defensive technologies as a warning. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The humans had joined the consortium appearing weak and harmless. Now they revealed themselves as anything but. Yet still insisted they wanted peace. Our history made us what we are, Daho concluded. We've seen the worst we can do to each other. We chose to be better. But make no mistake, we remember how to fight. We simply prefer not to. As the session ended, reports came in that the Krulzax Empire was mobilizing its main fleet. Despite the humans' words of peace, the most aggressive species in the consortium had decided on war. Min-Su watched the news with sad eyes. They didn't listen. No, agreed Daho. They heard our words but missed our warning. The emergency session of the Galactic Consortium was broadcast to every world in known space. The Great Hall was packed with representatives from all species. Director Hanbin stood at the center podium, his simple gray uniform a stark contrast to the elaborate robes and armor around him. 3 days had passed since the Battle of Saturn's Rings, where the entire Krulzax Armada, 200 warships strong, had been reduced to drifting debris. Not a single human vessel had been destroyed. The footage of the battle had spread across the galaxy, despite attempts to suppress it. Hanbin's face showed no triumph, only a quiet sadness as he surveyed the assembly. Earth did not seek this conflict, he began, his voice calm and measured. We came to you with open hands and honest intentions. We concealed our military capabilities because we did not wish to be feared. The council chamber was deadly silent. Where normally there would be whispers, shifting bodies, the soft hum of translation devices, now there was nothing but the sound of Hanbin's voice. Humanity has known war for longer than we've known writing, he continued. We fought ourselves so viciously that we nearly destroyed our own planet multiple times. When we finally achieved peace, we swore never to initiate conflict again. Hanbin paused, looking at the empty seat where the Krulzax delegation would normally sit. Their empire was in chaos now, their leadership in disarray after the loss of their fleet. But make no mistake, we never forgot how to fight. We simply chose not to. The Krulzax mistook our restraint for weakness. Captain Sunme stood at attention behind Hanbin, along with Admiral Tadwan, and the original diplomatic team. They had all shed their formerly humble appearances. They now stood tall, shoulders back, eyes clear and direct. What you witnessed at Saturn was not our full capability, Hanbin said. It was a measured response using only systems already in place within our solar system. We did not deploy our deep space fleets. We did not activate our long-range weapons. We defended our home, nothing more. Murmurs finally broke out across the chamber. Fear, disbelief, and for some, relief. The Lotus network that protected our system was built over 50 years, hidden within asteroids and moons, Hanbin explained. The autonomous defense platforms were designed to respond precisely to the level of threat presented. Had the Krelzaks come with a smaller force, they would have faced a smaller response. The chair being finally found its voice. Director Hanbin, the consortium wishes to understand why Earth concealed such technology, such power. History taught us caution, Hanbin replied. When we studied your records, we found that species who revealed advanced military technology too quickly were often targeted by coalitions fearing their rise. We did not wish to trigger such fear. He gestured to a display showing Earth, blue oceans, white clouds, green and brown landmasses. This is our home. Our only concern was protecting it while establishing peaceful relations. We hoped never to reveal our defensive capabilities at all. A representative from a small, previously neutral world stood. What happens now? Will Earth demand reparations? Territory? Resources? Hanbin shook his head. We want what we always wanted, peaceful exchange, mutual respect, and security for our world. Nothing more. And the Krelzaks? Asked another representative. We have no desire to occupy their worlds or control their people, Hanbin said. Their remaining leadership has received our terms. Cease all expansionist activities, withdraw from recently conquered territories, and submit to consortium oversight for 50 years. They have accepted. A shocked silence followed this revelation. The mighty Krelzak's empire, subdued in a single battle, had surrendered without further resistance. Earth will help rebuild what was destroyed. Hanbin continued. We bear no ill will toward any species, but from this day forward, know that we will no longer hide our true nature. We are predators who chose to be peaceful. We are warriors who chose diplomacy. We are a species that mastered the art of war so thoroughly that we recognized its ultimate futility. He looked around the chamber one last time, meeting the eyes of various representatives. The galaxy now knows what we are capable of when threatened. We hope that knowledge leads not to fear, but to understanding, not to distance, but to closer cooperation. We extend our hand in friendship as equals. Hanbin bowed deeply to the assembly. As he straightened, his final words echoed across thousands of worlds watching the broadcast. We were just being polite. Don't make us be impolite again. In the days that followed, a new order emerged in the galaxy. Trade routes reopened. Diplomatic missions resumed. But something fundamental had changed. When human representatives spoke in council sessions, everyone listened with new attention. When human ships entered a system, they were given wide berth. Earth had revealed itself not as the harmless newcomer, but as perhaps the most dangerous species in known space, one that had simply been polite enough not to mention it.